Under a wide diversity of conditions, in virtually any cluster, it is possible for an expanding nucleus of individuals to generate a movement towards the goal of a new world order.
La comunidad Bahá'í en Gran Canaria lleva años, está establecida hace tiempo.
Al principio era un núcleo pequeño en la agrupación pensando seriamente cómo podemos encontrar a gente de la sociedad que pudiera beneficiarse de la visión de Bahá'u'lláh para esta edad.
El portal sin duda fueron los prejóvenes, ¿no? Ellos se sentían tan identificados con el proceso, se sentían tan vinculados a lo que estaban viviendo, a los valores que transmite el programa, que de manera natural las conversaciones con sus familias pues se daban y las familias veían que algo estaba sucediendo. Algunos de los padres pues empezaron a acudir a las reuniones de reflexión con nosotros.
Empezamos a tener los participantes de las clases de niños, los participantes de los círculos de estudio en la reunión de reflexión. Empezamos a utilizar un lenguaje abierto, incluir el arte, historias, canciones espirituales, y la motivación aumentaba muchísimo más. Y el efecto fue que en cuestión de 3-4 ciclos ya la reunión se había transformado totalmente.
Y ver a toda esa gente ahí junta, están aquí hablando de su barrio. Y además lo hacen con un montón de cariño porque es donde han crecido. Quisieron de alguna forma devolver todo lo que habían recibido, ¿no? Y algunos incluso sintieron en su corazón que lo que ellos querían para su vida era servir a Bahá'u'lláh.
Para mi vida era ayudar a cambiar el mundo.
Y entonces ahí empezaron a tener nuevas preguntas, ¿no? Que si queremos crear una nueva realidad, una nueva comunidad vibrante, cómo podemos compartir con nuestros vecinos, compartir con más personas, ¿no?
Y nos enfocamos hacia cómo aprender a elevar el carácter devocional en diferentes aspectos, ¿no? Cómo un espacio de oración va evolucionando en el tiempo y va generando como más impacto a nivel comunitario, y cómo la oración ayuda a unirse también como amigos, ¿no?
Empezamos por abrir nuestra casa con nuestros periodos devocionales. No solo oramos juntos, caminamos juntos y compartimos muchos cafés y muchos tés, ¿no? Y realmente cualquier reunión se convierte en una reflexión acerca del momento que estamos viviendo, o de lo que necesitamos, o cómo podemos cambiar.
El carácter devocional de la comunidad ha sido elevado porque muchos hogares se han abierto, ¿no? Es como un sendero de servicio que es abierto para todos, ¿no? El amor que hay entre todos, que también es contagioso, y ese apoyo mutuo es una característica grande, y creo que se está haciendo patente un cambio real de cultura en la agrupación de Gran Canaria.
Nos movió que nos inspiramos, nos movió que oramos. Con toda la capacidad que se ha generado, miramos al futuro y pensamos el anhelo de nuestro corazón es cómo llegar a toda la población de un barrio.
Sydney as a city has between 4 and 5 million people. There are around 600 core activities that are taking place. And there are two approaches that the community takes to its own growth and development. The first approach is really working with the whole community through efforts with the youth, efforts in terms of children's classes and devotional meetings. The second approach is in a neighbourhood or a small part of Sydney. The first approach, where there's a broad learning across the whole community, is able to bring insights to the work that's happening in the focused areas, but at the same time, where there's focused energy, the learning can go quite deep, and so this is able to be shared throughout the cluster.
Community building efforts in Sydney aimed at working in neighbourhoods had begun sometime in 2008.
We're really trying to see how we can go deeper into a community and how to reach a large proportion of a neighbourhood. We also wanted to learn about having institute camps. So we started experimenting to see how we could take a group of youth very quickly within 2 or 3 cycles through the whole sequence of courses, so that by the end of the 2 cycles we had a group of tutors.
I started the process about 3 years ago by being invited to an institute camp. Now I'm a tutor, junior youth animator and a children's class teacher. My mum also is in the process. Yeah, I guess this journey, it wasn't something that happened overnight, but it's something that took place and really made that foundation of like my family becoming like unified. To share this passion to want to serve and to want to come to the institute camps is, I don't know, it's a great feeling.
So after the institute process entered the community, people really saw the value of the process itself and really took ownership of it. And now it's the people of the neighbourhood who have become the driving force of change in the community.
We were part of the first intake, so we're what we're called here as the veterans. The program has changed my way of thinking. I have a purpose now, like to serve, to teach. We have a lot of like diverse cultures here. If I wasn't involved in this program a few years back, I don't think I would even be here sitting with like, you know, like Aboriginals, Australians. I was always like the person that stayed with the islanders, and that's how it was for us growing up. But now I have this sense of diversity where I want to be friends with everyone, like, you know, all different cultures.
It was really hard to bring a lot of different people together, but we really grew a lot. We had a deeper connection because we were going through this process together. And now whole families going through the process. They're now consulting together and solving problems amongst the family.
To us now, it's not even a program, it's just a way of life. Like, my kids enjoy being involved, you know, even the animator, yeah, I don't look at him now as, oh, that's just your animator, you know. He has become like family to us, and it's not often you have your kids coming home and being like, yeah, you know what, Mum, if you think about it this way and you go about life that way, and, you know, I'm the parent, and to have them sitting there and changing my mind, changing my train of thought. Yeah, it's all because of what they're learning. Like I said, it's changed not just my kids' life, but my life too, like for the better.
Through these community activities, we can see that the youth are thinking of each other and of each other's families, and the families are thinking of the community as a whole. In many instances where the community has gone through tragedies with families, maybe there have been deaths in families or like financial problems, the youth have banded together to try and assist that. It feels good, you know, to see that we're affecting the community in such a good way. You know, it feels really awesome to be that change.
The youth have a unified vision, and they're focusing and they're channeling a lot of their energy to, you know, transforming their communities.
I'm studying youth work, and I'm hoping to do a diploma and try to get into uni and stuff like that, because I thought maybe I'm doing this all the time. Why not just get my qualifications? Like, why not be able to broaden, like make it like a lot more where I can help people?
We all committed ourselves to a lifetime of service. We tutor Ruhi books together. We start core activities together. We accompany many other people, and it's a very special relationship that we share. Yeah, it's just grounded in service, I think, which is the most beautiful thing.
Sometimes I ask myself, where would I be if it wasn't for, this movement and this process? Because really, at this point in my life, there's no other way I would spend my time, my young years that are limited. Yeah, I thank Bahá'u'lláh for having enabled me to serve my community.
After seeing how the Institute process really affects the neighbourhood and how much change can come through it, the youth decided to create teams to go out and share the process with other surrounding areas and clusters to help those communities advance. We're not just focused on the advancement of our own community, but we want to see other communities advance as well.
As this process began to take shape, very quickly it began to also influence the efforts of other tutors and other communities throughout Sydney. Once this gathered momentum, one could really get the sense of the whole of Sydney moving.
Initially, the house of worship was the center of the activities. Gradually, as our number of tutors increased, we gained the capacity to have one central institute campaign at the house of worship, but then decentralized ones in the local neighbourhoods.
क्योंकि हमने एक जो हमारा सेंटर में से एक्टिविटी का जो केंद्र हरकेश नगर को आइडेंटिफाई किया और वहाँ पे बड़ी संख्या में युवाओं को आमंत्रित किया प्रशिक्षण के लिए और उन्होंने बच्चों की कक्षा के टीचर के रूप में और अनुप्रेरक के रूप में उन्होंने प्रशिक्षण प्राप्त किया।
हरकेश नगर has a population of 250,000. However, this entire population lives within a very small radius. Gradually, the collective consciousness has been built in Harkesh Nagar, and they're aware that a large number of youth are building their capacity by attending classes and serving their community. When there's a devotional in a certain building, everyone living in that building is invited.
और हमने सोचा कि अब ये जो कैंपेन जिससे सीख उभर के आई है कि कैसे एक समुदाय भी शामिल हो सकता है इस कार्यक्रम में, तो हमने सोचा क्यों ना उस दूसरे समुदाय में भी जाया जाए। हमारा हरकेश नगर, ओखला फेस 2, बदरपुर, तैखंड, गोविंदपुरी, ये जितने समुदाय हैं ये धीरे धीरे शामिल होने लगे इसमें।
As the number of junior youth groups and children's classes increased, it was realized that one coordinator is not enough. So we had 2, then we had 3, then we had 4, and gradually they started to ask themselves, what can be a more sustainable method of accompanying the groups? The learning site shared this concept where 5 animators or 5 children's class teachers could accompany each other with the help of the collaborators. And then the coordinator works with a number of collaborators.
उनके साथ संबंध बहुत अच्छा है। वो खुद भी मुझे वो मुझे खुद भी इन्फॉर्म करते हैं कि हाँ हमें ये करना है वो करना है, और फिर हमारे बीच में वैसा संबंध नहीं है कि हम कोई काम करने के लिए मिल रहे हैं। जब हम एनिमेटर विजिट करते हैं तो जैसे कि हमारा जो मेन उद्देश्य होता है ये होता है कि हम एनिमेटर के साथ भी कुछ अर्थपूर्ण वार्तालाप करें। तो हम सोचते हैं कि उनके लिए जो जुनियर की किताब है उससे हम कुछ डिस्कस करें, कि कुछ लेसन प्लान कर ले ताकि कुछ अर्थपूर्ण बातें हो उनसे। वो जो किताबें हम उनके अवधारणाओं के बारे में पेरेंट्स से बात करते हैं।
For more than a year, the number of activities remained about the same. The cluster was able to sustain the activities, make up for those that had stopped or could not continue for various reasons, but was not able to grow. The realization came that perhaps we need to double the number of youth entering the institute process. When a larger, double number of youth enter the institute process, naturally a larger number will be proceeding to the higher books and serving as animators or children's class teachers.
तो अभी हमारे कोऑर्डिनेटर्स की टीमों में 18 कोऑर्डिनेटर्स हैं और उनके जो साथ साथ जो उनको मदद कर रहे हैं कोऑर्डिनेटर्स को, उसमें 72 कोलैबोरेटर्स या अनुभवी अनुप्रेरक या अनुभवी शिक्षक हैं जो उनको मदद करते हैं। और 2022 जो हमारी टोटल कोर एक्टिविटीज़ है।
हमारी जो दिल्ली की जो स्थानीय आध्यात्मिक सभा है वो हमें हर पल मदद करते हैं। जैसे कोई भी वो योजना बनाते हैं वो हमसे पहले वो हमारे साथ परामर्श करते हैं।
I think the assembly has gone through a learning process itself. It has evolved very much so since the decentralization. The way we consult, I think, is slowly maturing. We felt that if we expect the community to fulfill its goals, we have to be part of that. The relationship which exists between the agencies, it's one where I think we complement each other, if you like. We can see how the institution, the individual, the community itself, how they're all coming together, how they're able to work together in a very united way is really what has kept us in the forefront of our activities.
Oftentimes we wonder how Delhi cluster has sustained its activities, has continued to grow, and perhaps it was this everyday meeting of the core group without fail since 2nd March 2010. The core group consists of coordinators of every activity. So when they meet together every day, pray and read the writings together every day, it binds them together. It influences the atmosphere of the whole cluster. And there is no opportunity for the cluster to fall back because the reflection is not once, but every day for those who are serving full time.
In Daga, the population is about 8,000, and half of this, about 4,000 plus, are Baha'is.
Daga is in a remote setting. The communities are so scattered due to the mountainous region. There's no good transportation system, and in order for the people to walk around, we have to walk, cross rivers, climb mountains.
We have 33 local spiritual assembly, and one of the features is that the local spiritual assembly take ownership of all the activities that happens in that community.
When there is something that needs to be solved, you would see everybody turning to the local spiritual assembly. And everyone has felt that they would get the right solution to whatever they are going through this divine institution. In that regard, it is very evident that the administrative order of Bahá'u'lláh has taken its root and its shape.
Orup dayton ang bagang community wan deniwa wana bendia ata wana pan to iam dayton buin dayton now tat anu awat dayton.
We come together, organize devotional meetings, say prayers in early dawns, and coming together saying these words together influences our own being.
Or sometimes the whole community is going to the Baha'i Center to have their dawn prayers. It's like a habit for them. So when it comes to like children's dawn prayer, family dawn prayer, or the whole community dawn prayer, or even the members of the local spiritual assembly dawn prayers, they are moving.
This is an environment where we share understandings together. That's the common aim. And we have the vision of collaboration, participation, and building capacity in others.
15 to 20 years ago, we don't have a lot of educated people, but due to the institute courses, when it came to Daga, it really helped everyone in that community. By now they can speak English, they can read and they can write, and they can even tutor study cycles, and they can express very confidently. Currently we have elementary school, kindergartens, and also primary schools. The future life of the children, it is under the care of the community as a whole.
From adults, children, youth, junior youth, everyone is engaged in the process. They do the service component, organizing devotional meetings, children's classes, junior youth, and all of these things. And we reach 1,000 core activities.
People sacrifice and they are devoted because they have embraced the teaching of Bahá'u'lláh and it has influenced them. And they see the need to be out there carrying out these activities for the transformation of their communities. And social action is coming, which is also contributing together with the institute process.
The community is always concerned about the development of spiritual and material aspects. If anyone's willing to start any project, we have to discuss together what are the benefits of such projects in both aspects, both spiritual and material. We apply whatever we learn and help our community to progress.
As a result of the revelation of Bahá'u'lláh, knowledge is generated and shared, and it helps everyone to raise their capacity. You learn to see the people whom you are working with are people who have the potentials. So it's not that you alone doing everything, but then you are collaborating with the community. You will also realize that you are growing intellectually, you are also growing morally or spiritually as a whole human being.
It creates opportunities where I feel in my heart that I have power to serve Bahá'u'lláh according to my own capacity in my little ways. And we must have a heart for him, that we pray that those of us serving his teachings, we can bring this world into a next stage. And I have that love and heart's desire to continue to serve him until the end.